I went looking for trouble, and I found it. These were the haunting words of Charles Ponzi, the man whose name would forever define one of the most dangerous traps in the world of money. From Wall Street scams to crypto rug pulls, the financial frauds we see today all share the same DNA. And it all began with him, a broke Italian immigrant who promised to double people's money, and somehow the whole country believed him. This is the story of the original scam king. Charles Ponzi was born in 1882 in Lugo, Italy. He wasn't born into money. In fact, his family struggled. But Ponzi was a dreamer. He used to tell people he'd one day be rich, that he'd find a way to make money work for him. So, at just 21, he boarded a ship to America, the land of opportunity, carrying a few clothes and exactly $2.50 in his pocket. But the streets of Boston weren't paved with gold. They were paved with broken dreams. He took odd jobs: dishwasher, waiter, clerk. He even got fired for stealing. Every failure just fed his hunger for wealth. But his luck was about to change, with a single piece of paper. In 1919, while working in Boston, Ponzi received a letter from a company in Spain. Inside was something ordinary: an international reply coupon. It was used to exchange postage stamps between countries. But Ponzi's sharp eye caught something nobody else noticed. Due to currency changes after World War I, the coupon's value was different in every country. You could buy one in Spain for 1 cent, and exchange it in the US for stamps worth 6 cents. That's a 500% profit, risk-free. His brain exploded with ideas. What if I bought thousands of these coupons across Europe and cashed them in America? To him, it was genius. To the world, it was innovation. With his brilliant idea in hand, Ponzi founded the Securities Exchange Company in Boston in 1920. He promised investors something unheard of: 50% profit in just 45 days, or double your money in 90 days. And here's the crazy part: people believed him. They lined up outside his office, wrapping around the block, desperate to hand him their savings. He wasn't selling a product. He was selling hope. And when the first investors got their promised profits, paid with the money of new investors, word spread like wildfire. Ponzi became the talk of the town. From factory workers to millionaires, everyone wanted a piece of his magic formula. But here's the twist: not a single coupon was ever traded. Within months, Ponzi was drowning in money. He was earning over $250,000 a day. That's more than $3 million a day today. He bought a massive mansion in Lexington, filled with gold furniture, diamond cufflinks, and luxury cars. Reporters adored him. Magazines called him a financial wizard. He even posed for photos throwing dollar bills in the air. But behind the camera, Ponzi knew the truth. His empire was built on sand. He never exchanged even a single coupon. Every profit was someone else's investment. Still, he told himself he could make it real one day. That's the delusion of every scammer. They believe their lie just long enough to live it. But not everyone was convinced. A journalist named Clarence Barron, founder of Barron's magazine, began to investigate. He analyzed Ponzi's operation and did the math. And the math didn't lie. To make the profits Ponzi claimed, he would need 160 million reply coupons circulating globally. In reality, there were only 27,000. Barron's report exploded across newspapers. Ponzi's genius suddenly looked like fraud. Still, thousands of investors refused to believe it. Blinded by greed, they defended him, saying, "If Ponzi's wrong, why are people getting rich?" And when the truth came out, it was already too late. In August 1920, the Boston Post published the full expose. Panic hit the streets. Investors stormed his office, demanding refunds. The police surrounded the building as Ponzi watched his empire crumble overnight. He confessed that he owed more than he owned, and that his entire business was a lie. He was charged with mail fraud, ironically, the same mail system he used for his scam. The losses? Over $20 million, nearly $300 million today, wiped out in weeks. People lost homes, savings, and trust in the system. The wizard of finance was exposed as the master of deception. Ponzi spent years in prison before being deported to Italy. Even there, he couldn't stop scheming. He tried new businesses, each one collapsing faster than the last. In the end, he moved to Brazil, where he lived in poverty, giving English lessons to survive. He died in 1949, broke, forgotten, and buried in a cheap coffin paid for by charity. Yet his legacy lives on. Not in honor, but in warning. Every financial fraud that promises guaranteed profit follows his playbook. From Bernie Madoff's $65 billion scam to shady crypto projects, they're all children of Charles Ponzi's illusion. Charles Ponzi didn't invent greed, he simply understood it. He proved that people don't invest in numbers, they invest in promises. A century later, his name still warns us. If someone guarantees you huge returns with no risk, you're not the lucky one. You're the next victim. Ponzi died with nothing. But his idea? It still lives, wearing new clothes, speaking new words, waiting for the next believer. Remember his name, Charles Ponzi, the man who made the world fall for a dream that never existed.